Who told you that you couldn't? Seriously, ask yourself that question. Who told me that I couldn't? And whatever that thing that came into your head just then about what you couldn't do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Whether it's couldn't perform an action, couldn't grab hold of that dream that you had, couldn't actualize those internal beliefs that you have or may have had, and somewhere along the long road of life, you forgot yourself. Who told you that you couldn't? You couldn't achieve that thing. You couldn't be that person. You couldn't make reality what you had in here. And that thing slowly eats at you because you feel yourself over time getting further and further and further behind. Such is life, huh? Nah, that's not life, man. Too many of us are in that cycle of self-oppression. So many of us don't even allow ourselves to be free. Subconsciously, our flesh holds us back, and we're at war with ourselves. We're thinking that, it's these elites and the way that the world works that keeps 99% of people down and suppressed. And yeah, it may have some truth to that, but you're not even at that scale. You're not even at that place where you have to think about certain things like that, because we can't even get up in the morning and make our bed. We can't even get up and pray like we said we were going to. We can't get up and work out in the morning like we said we do, or we say we want to because we're tired, right? We can't go for that run. We can't pick up the camera and record. We can't write those thoughts and write those ideas, start writing that book like we say we are going to. And we're worried about some elites. Who told you you couldn't? You did. I used to say, it's an evil world we live in. That used to be my go-to. No matter what misfortune approached me, it's an evil world we live in. Acceptance. Accept it. And just go. Continue on. And now that I'm thinking about it, it didn't have too much of a negative impact on my life. Because to some extent, that's probably what we should be doing, honestly. Accept the punches, roll with them, But I never allow myself to be stuck, to be stagnant. I never allow myself to be oppressed in a place that I don't want to be. But it starts with you. It starts with understanding that you can be anything. It starts with understanding that you are everything that you want to achieve, everything that you want to do, to be. You are that. And it's time that we start thinking from the mindset of that person. So I ask again, who told you that you couldn't? And I used to be a big listener to Jim Rohn, still am. He's long passed. Some of you may know who he is. But the biggest thing that I got from him was 3 words. Why not you? Why not? Why do you feel like you can't do that thing? Whatever it is that you had in your mind before, why do you feel like it's not you that can achieve that? You think the person who sits at that place that you want to be, you think they're smarter than you? So go learn. You think they're more athletic than you? then go train. You think they're wiser than you? Go live life and experience things. You'll grow wisdom. There's nothing that you can't do. You just don't want to do it. You would rather wallow in your self-pity and force yourself to accept that this is just who I am. Unfortunately, not everybody can make it, and that's just a fact of life. Not everybody has what it takes, because it's a mind state. It's a mind state, and a lot of us don't ever get to venture there, to the place where we can be open and honest with ourselves first and foremost. Open and honest with the fact that we're not doing everything that we need to do. Self-accountability. Who told you that you couldn't? Too many of our youth is gonna grow up without a generation to look to, without hope of what we can achieve, and we're partially to blame for that. Too many of our youth are gonna get to a point where they're looking ahead for some inspiration, much like we were. And what they're gonna find is a generation of people that allowed themselves to be mediocre. That word just disgusts me. But that's enough of our problems, right? Because we hear it all the time. We are our own biggest critic. So we already know exactly what it is that we struggle with, that we deal with, that we have to in turn 180, flip that around and begin to walk forward. We already know. So it's enough about what's oppressing us. Let's talk about one simple principle. Let me tell you a fact of life. Once you get this principle down packed, there's nothing that you can't do. And who am I, right? I'm nobody in particular, but I'm everything that I need to be for me and mine. I'm everything and more. And I know that. I believe that. I am that. It's not about confidence. Competence builds confidence. Anybody can be confident as long as you know what you're doing. A lot of us don't even get to that point because it's the small things that we can't even manage. Can't even manage our own time. Can't manage a budget. Can't manage simple tasks that we set ourselves out to do, like get up and make your bed. A simple thing, and yet so many of us fail to execute. Why is that? It's because you don't believe in yourself. You want everybody to listen to you and what you have to say, but you don't even listen to you. And you don't see a problem with that. But of course you do. Of course you see a problem in that. You're smart enough. You clicked on this video. Believe in yourself. And that's not just some cliche thing, some fairy tale, make believe. This world is full of belief. Everything that you see, faith, belief, everything that is began with a thought, began with a belief that thing can be actualized. Everything. You don't think there's room for you? Of course there is. Of course there is. You just have to believe that there's a singular spot that nobody else can fill but you. Believe in yourself. Who told you you couldn't? It doesn't matter, because you know that you can.